So a little bit about myself. So my name is Mike Lim, and I am the RPA consultant at Cybiant with multiple years of experience in designing and implementation of the RPA processor design consultation job with multiple RPA tools. So, and I'm actually representing Cybiant Malaysia office in Kuala Lumpur. Okay. So about us. So about our company, Cybiant. So we are actually a company that focus on helping businesses to use their data to win in data economy. So we have multiple section that we have education section that is focusing in providing trainings, different trainings, and of course we have the other part which is the consulting part, like which focus in RPA, data analytic, IT service management, and etc. etc. So this is a little bit about us. I mean about Cybiant. Okay. So in today's agenda, all right. So we will have a brief introduction about what is RPA. Okay. So I'll go through a little bit of introduction, give a little bit idea about what RPA is about, and then of course the second thing is we will build the robot. Okay. We will go through the installation of the UiPath software, and then we will build your first robot together. So I will be guiding you. I'll be guiding you step by step in building your first robot. Okay. And also I will go through some of the use cases, like what are the uh in what scenario that you can actually implement RPA and etc. etc. So this will be the agenda we'll be going through today. And of course, if you need to have a certificate of attendance, please do let us know that we will actually provide it to you. And of course, I would like to mention it again. In order to learn, please participate and ask questions as if you have any questions, of course. Okay. So about the time, the planning of the course session today, that it will be a 2 hours webinar session. So in the first hour, mostly I will do the introduction and going through the setup and installation. Okay. And of course, for the setup and installation, if I believe that you already received the email from Angelina, that we already include one PDF file, which is the installation step. So basically that PDF file, inside that include all the um, step by step guide in downloading, doing the registration, downloading the installer, and doing the installation. So it's all included inside the guide. So if of course, for us to go through that process a little bit faster, so you can already refer to that guide and do the installation before we actually go through that. And so yeah, it will save us quite a lot of time. So we can focus more into the creation of the robot. Okay. And of course, then in the second part, which is from module 2 and 3, it will be starting from around 10 o'clock to 11. That we're basically doing all the hands-on in creating the robot and understand about what are the function and the function inside and how to use it. Okay. So what is our experience with robotic process automation? So we, Cybiant, actually authored the service automation framework book. Okay. It is basically a framework that gives either individual or an organization that have a deep insight into the theory and the methodology about service automation. Okay. So we actually authored this book. So of course we do have a training for service automation as well, a fundamental of service automation that basically guiding you through how to implement service automation. Okay. And of course, we are also the official partner for UiPath too. Okay. So let's let me go through a little introduction about UiPath. So, in this Gartner Magic Quadrant, you can see that in year 2002, okay, of course, we don't have the latest 2003 yet, but this is the latest one that we can see that in this Gartner Magic Quadrant, I mean that they go through the research of a specific market, and it show that UiPath has already been positioned by Gartner as a leader in 2022 for the RPA solutions. So you can see that it actually positioned leader as a leader above the other solutions that have in the market. So you can see this is one of the, and the other one, we also have another survey, the Forrester Wave. So it also ranked UiPath as the highest in current offering strategy and market present in RPA solution. And this is as per Q1 in 2023. So we can see that why we saw, I mean, like why we use UiPath, simply because they are the leader. They have the best solution available in the market. And of course, they have a broad solution, which I will be showing later on. What do they have? Okay. And of course, I mean, it also featured in the Forbes. So this is one of the magazine that actually showcase the IT, or the IT company that, I mean, the kind of like showing the 100 best. And for UiPath, it ranked number 3 for 2 consecutive years in year 2019 and year 2020. So it shows something that what is about the UiPath as well. So rank, I mean, like in worldwide, there are so many companies, and to rank number 3 in two consecutive years is really something. Okay. And yeah, before we move on, let's take a little bit time to do a self-check, whether as an individual or as an organization. Okay. That, I mean, the question is, do you have the knowledge and system to win in the data economy? Okay. So of course, you don't have to answer this question. You basically, you just do a self-reflection about yourself, about your organization, whether you have the knowledge and also the system to win in data economy or not. All right. So right now, so this is about the introduction to RPA, and right now we are going into RPA. What is RPA? Okay. In businesses nowadays, okay, um, I'm sure that if you're a business owner, or you're the worker, or whatever it is, you are facing pressure from many sources, multiple sources, whether it's the technology and the process optimization, whether we're talking about new technology, whether we're talking about the growth of the businesses, we're talking about outsourcing, we're talking about market saturation, whether the market is saturated or not, or right now, I think we're talking a lot about the customer expectation, or we call it customer satisfaction. All right. And of course, we need to comply to the rules and regulation. There are compliance and regulation we need to take care about. And of course, the last part is about the increasing cost, the cost pressure. Okay. So these are the as a business, there are many, I mean, we are facing pressure from multiple sources. Okay. And at the same time, we are also need to, I mean, like, we need to take care of the priority. Okay. We need to mainly increase the revenue and lower the costs. We need to improve customer satisfaction. Okay. All the time. I mean, we really want to gain more businesses. We need to always improve the customer satisfaction, so that they'll always come back to us as a customer. All right. So of course, internally, we also need to increase employee engagement. And the last part, of course, we need to reduce the compliance risk. Okay, so these are the things that the pressure that we have, and of course, what are the priority that we need to take care at the same time. Okay, so in the previous era of technological disruption, so we can see that where will data center be? Okay, without a mainframe. So and look at the next one. Where would the business world be without a personal computer? And where would software be without a graphical user interface? Okay, and where would Amazon be without internet? And where will Uber, or in Malaysia we commonly known as Grab, without a mobile? Okay, a smartphone, a mobile phone. And where would software be without a cloud? I mean cloud, which means cloud computing. So these are the technology that is actually coming along the way, and you can imagine that how the current will be without mainframe PC, GUI, internet, and all these things. Okay, so and the next one, of course, we are talking about is RPA. So what exactly is RPA? All right. So RPA, which means we commonly call it robotic process automation, or RPA. We call it RPA in short form. Is a technology, okay, that allow computer software to mimic the action uh, that performed by human interacting with digital system, okay, in performing simple, repetitive, and business processes. Okay, so basically what it means is that this is the software that actually can mimic human working with a digital computer, or your computer in common. Okay, so like for example, you are doing the typing. Okay, if you are to interact with whether it's a front end system or your back end system or any of the software that you are using, like for example Microsoft Excel or your CRM, always need to use a keyboard and mouse to interact with the application. Okay, that is why RPA is a software. It can mimic the human action in doing the typing or doing the clicking, or to do some like computer command, like for example copy data, paste data into from one place to another place. Okay, so this is what in simple term what RPA is about. And of course, um, it is meant to process data in a structural format. In structural format, which means it's in the database format, in the uh, Excel file, data file, or in a common CSV file in common. Okay, and what RPA can provide is that um, long hour of working. It can work continuously for long hour. Okay, so in common term, we can almost categorize that it can work 24/7. Okay, between 24 hours, 7 day non-stop if it is required to. Okay, at the same time, it will maintain the high accuracy. Okay, it can work for long hours and maintain the high accuracy. Okay, so this is something that we as a human uh not likely will be able to achieve this one, simply because we human, um after long hours of working, we will have fatigue. Okay, so once fatigue, that like mistakes are more likely to happen at that time when a human is in a fatigue mode. Okay, so of course we need to mention that RPA is non-invasive. What do we mean by non-invasive? It means that it does not require any IT architecture change, or a major IT architecture change. Okay, that you do not have to change the whatever existing system that you have in order to implement RPA. Okay, RPA, it actually offer a reliable, a fast and cost-effective solution for a lightweight integration into process and IT asset. So which means for whatever application that you're having, for whatever IT system that you're having right now, it can almost implement it on top of whatever you are having right now. Of course, I mean, here we're talking about the scale. I mean, like, whether you have a smaller scale IT system or a large scale business IT system, it doesn't matter. Actually, the RPA can always sit on top of whatever you are having right now. So which means you do not need to really have a major change in order to implement RPA. Okay. And the second part is about the RPA is easy to scale. All right. This means that the amount of work that involved by the process can be very little, can be a lot. And the changes are like very likely to happen in the most business environment. So that is why if an RPA solution is used, we can always, I mean, like easily adapt to the changes by scaling the solution up or down, depends on the requirements. Okay. And RPA is always future proof. All right. So, which means the robot work with today technology. Okay. And yet the automation are extensible that it can be able to handle whatever new technology that is coming. I mean, like in the future, or we call it tomorrow's technology. Okay. So here we can see that, I mean, here it gives a little bit of explanation about RPA. That RPA is basically, we call it low to no code commercial off the shelf technology. That basically it is used to automate repetitive rules based tasks. Okay, so if you have knowledge about what macro is in an Excel file. So macro in Excel is basically used to automate some of the uh, processes within Excel file. But for RPA, it is work more than just that. Basically, it's the same function, but actually it can work in the entire computer system, not just in Excel itself. And RPA can work with whatever application that is available inside your computer. All right. And it can actually record the action performed across a PC, like for example, access to the system and to perform any delineated task for human user. Okay, but RPA, in RPA tool products, it vary in capabilities. It have multiple of capability, but all the capabilities are about emulate human action. Okay, so this is what we need to be aware about. So doesn't matter what the capabilities is about, it is all about emulate the human action. Okay, and of course we are talking about, if you're talking about the benefit, it actually um help to empower the non-IT professional. So you do not need to be a IT professional, or you need to be a you need to be very skillful in technical, in automate and reduce the manual workload. All right. So because it is, like in the olden days when we talk about programming, we always like, oh, I need to have a certain knowledge about programming before I can do that. But because RPA is a low, or is actually, we call it no code uh, solution. So which means you do not need to have the knowledge about programming for you to perform to automate your business processes. So this is what RPA is also about. That, of course, in UiPath as well. And for the RPA, it is also considered transformative because it has established a building block of AI in the in IT infrastructure and the task standardization. That is why if you have effective RPA deployment, for you to have a machine learning and intelligent automation, okay, are actually just a few manageable steps away. All right. And RPA is not just a technology. Okay, it is not just a technology to reduce the workload. It is basically, we call it's not a workload reduce technology. It is not there just to reduce the workload. Okay, at the same time, it can actually deploy to increase your work quality to reduce error and improve compliance, and then strengthen the control environment and added new service to your businesses. Okay, that in one of the survey, I mean by the economists, it actually showed that, I mean for RPA, 91% of the surveyed organization are already using some sort of the automation technologies, which is already available inside the organization. And 73% of them are very or entirely satisfied with the return of investment from automation today. Okay. And they are 84% of the company, automation is already a C-level executive responsibility. It's no longer just a normal employee, but it is already getting the awareness from the C-level executive already. So this is something that they are looking into it. All right. And yeah, we can see that the automation first company will win their market. All right. For the company who, I mean, like when they adopt, I mean, the faster they adopt automation, the faster that they were able to win over the market. Okay. That you can see that for Amazon, okay, Amazon, they adopted automation much earlier. That is why you will see that automation, it grows. I mean, like from last time, from as a internet bookstore to whatever they are right now. They scale so much faster. And if you know Borders or any other physical bookstore, that they are struggling. I'm not sure about the other country, but Malaysia, I mean, we have already seen over the news that there are some of the bookstore they are closing down their physical bookstore simply because, I mean, like the market right now is so competitive. Of course, if we're talking about Uber, okay, and in Asia, in Malaysia, it's more commonly known as Grab. They apply automation, and yep, they win over the market much. I mean, like they have a wider market adoption, and the traditional taxi, which is the one that is struggling right now. And of course, we're talking about Netflix. Is also one of the. I mean, like we're talking about this one is about movie online. Okay, that they apply automation first. That how much I mean, how much market share they have right now compared to the traditional uh the physical store that where you need to rent or purchase a CD, tape or whatever. So you can see that for a company that they adopt automation, that they are able to beat the market much faster. So that is why the automation adopter is the one that is thriving at the moment. And of course, they are probably at the growing stage at the moment. But for the automation avoider, so those are the organizations that are considered struggling right now. Okay. So we can see that um something that it probably can inspire you, that how can you begin your automation journey with a robot. Okay. Then right now we are looking into what can the automation do for you. Okay. In robotic process automation, we are talking about it is a software that it can emulate a person by executing all the manual repetitive tasks. One of the most simple example that I can give is data entry. Okay. For you to go through, like look at the form and do all the data entry. I mean, like, of course, those are the steps that we need to perform again and again and again. Once we finish with one form, then we go to the next form and we need to repeat the same process again. Okay. So those are, I mean, this is one example that, I mean, we're talking about the manual repetitive tasks. And of course, in business processes, there are more uh I mean, like business processes that is actually manual and repetitive. All right. And RPA, it can also help to make decision based on the set of rules that you implement. Okay, and it can seamlessly integrate with whatever existing application that you are having right now. Okay, whatever application or software that you are using right now, RPA can help to integrate with the existing application that you are already having. All right, and of course, what are the outcome that we can expect is that it actually help accelerate the benefit from digital transformation, and it can help to improve your customer experience. Okay, imagine that one task that if traditionally that you required 5 to 10 minutes to perform one task. I mean, like to complete one task. But with the help of RPA, you can actually complete the job in a much shorter time. Or then, of course, then it will improve the customer experience. Okay, and of course, it can reduce the compliance cost, and I mean reduce compliance cost and risk. That everything done in the RPA, it is actually trackable, I mean auditable. So that is why it can be reduce the compliance, and then it can work at a much faster rate, which means at the same time it actually reduce the cost and reduce the risk of all type of mistake as well. And last one is about increase the employee satisfaction and engagement as well, because um basically like reduce their work. Like their requirement in performing all the manual and repetitive tasks. Okay, so far so good. Yeah. Then let me proceed. That we can see what the software robot can do for us. All right. So for RPA, these are some of the tasks that can be easily hand over to the robot to perform all these kind of tasks. Like for example, um, log log in into application. Okay, whether it's a web application or it's just a local application, local PC application, like for example Excel. If you are working with SAP, you have any uh, Workday and all this whatever application that you can name it required login, the robot can do for you, and it can connect to the system API. Okay, for whichever is the supported system that you can actually like connect to the API, so that things can be work at a much faster rate. Okay, and then talking about a simple job like moving files or moving folders from one place to another place, or we're talking about extract some of the content from document, from PDF, from email and forms. Okay, so we need to extract a certain information out of the document or PDF file or from your email, that the robot can do as well. And then of course, it can also read and write to database, and then it can access to your email, open your email and attachment as well. And of course, it can scrape data from the web, like from the web browser, and of course it can do calculation. Okay, so like if for whatever task that need to do calculation or analysis, that the robot can do for you as well. So anything can be automated will be able to be automated. You see, like for all the businesses, like these are some of the department. Okay, these are some of the must-have department. All right. So whether it's a finance or supply chain or IT, HR or customer services, so we can see that almost every one of the department, there are some of the processes that is actually repetitive. Okay. For example, we're talking about in finance, we're talking about process to pay. Okay, the process to pay, order to cash, or record to report. Okay, these are some of the tasks that is actually is repetitive, that is always happening within the finance department. And of course, in supply chain, we are talking about the inventory management, the demand and supply, the planning, Then in the IT, we're talking about the server and application monitoring, the routine maintenance and monitoring. And for HR and customer service, then they have their uh the tasks as well. For example, payroll. Okay, these are, I mean, like HR is almost like you have in every company. That we're talking about onboarding and offboarding employees and the benefit of administration and customer service. If you're in a customer service, we always engage customer service for like the tasks like we need to change address, password reset, the payment scheduling, and order modification. So these are the tasks that can be automated by a robot. Okay. Yeah. The next one. So here we can see that how a robot and people can work together. Okay, so these are the way, I mean, like there are multiple way that how a robot can work together with people, human being. For example, me, myself, and a robot. How does it? How can it work together? Of course, the first one, you can see that there are no robot available. We feel all the work are to be done in a manual way. Okay, so of course, the next one is we're talking about attended or on demand mode. On demand, which it only run as and when me as a human triggered the robot to start running the process. Okay, and it can be attended in tandem, which means robot and myself are working at the same time. Okay, so I can be doing my task, my task, and at the same time, robot is doing the other task. Okay, and of course, we're talking about hybrid, whether it can be work automatically or by triggered by human. So we call it hybrid. Okay, and partially unattended, so which means for example, some of the tasks that require, like for example, some human input. Okay, some human input that require human to do to provide the input or to make a decision. Okay, but for the other process, I mean, like for the remaining processes, that it can be running automatically. So we are call it partially unattended. And of course, for a fully unattended, which means there are no interruption along the way. There are no human required in this process. That the process is running 100% automated. Okay, so it's 100% automation that everything is running automatically by the robot, whether it's um able to do anything, okay, that no human is required in making decision or anything. So here we can see that what are the which processes should be automated. Okay, so if you are looking at those tasks that is highly manual and in a repetitive processes, these are the tasks we can automate. If the process is basically rules based, which means it must follow a step. Okay, you must go through step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and subsequently in getting a task done. So which means you cannot skip some step. It must be follow a specific set of rules in getting the task done. So this type of task can be automated as well. And of course, we need, I mean, like for the task to be low in exception rate, then we can automate as well the processes with a standard format. Between standard format here, we're talking about commonly we know it as a structured data. Okay, so like for example, the database in an Excel format, in a CSV format, it's already in, so like standard format. Okay, and readable input type. So this is it can be worked with all these type of data. Okay, and of course we are talking about, if high volume, then if of course fulfill the requirement to get it automate and have a flexible processing method that have a operational it need to have an operational efficiency potential. And of course, the last one is about matured and stable process. Mature and stable process, which means this process has been, working in the same way for, like, it don't like for this week, I will work this way. For next week, then it required to change to another process method. So this is not, we don't call it a stable processes because it changed almost like every week. So, like, we talking about here, we're talking about you need to have a matured one. So which means it don't change easily. So here are the 8 requirements that basically sums up what are the processes. Okay, the requirement to get it. Excuse me. To get it automated. So there are 8 different requirements. So this is something that you can refer to in choosing what are type of the process that it can be automated. All right. Okay. So now we are done with the first module that, like some of the introduction with RPA and what is RPA about. And also I go through a little bit about some introduction about UiPath. Okay. So right now in the second module, we are going into build your first robot. Okay. In this module, like we are going to do the hands-on in the on how to, like you can build your robot. And of course, I will need to go through some of the installation guide. I believe that you already received the email from Angelina again that, like how to go through the installation. But here I'm going through a quick step in case somebody is does not receive or have not done the installation yet. Then I will go through that, just a quick one. But what I would recommend is that you get the guide and you go through the installation. That will be much faster. Okay. So in this module that, of course, we are talking about, we will be setting up the RPA environment. We'll be going through a little bit about, I will do some introduction about uh, the Studio X interface and then to build the robot. Okay. So in UiPath, all right, the basic environment that we are talking about, that you will have 3 different things. First, you will need to have a platform to design RPA. So we call it the designer. Okay, designer that you actually have 3 different mode: Studio X, Studio, and Studio Pro. Okay, that Studio and Studio Pro mainly is designed for advanced user that they need to do a lot more. Okay, like a lot more advanced tasks or more functions that they are actually for advanced designer. But for Studio X, it is for mainly designed for people who don't have a high level of knowledge. Okay, but at the same time they want to do something to automate some of their tasks. All right, so today we will mainly focus in Studio X, because Studio X, it basically you do not need any coding knowledge in order to use this one as well. Okay, and then it does have the orchestration part, the UiPath orchestrator, that basically is some sort of like the administrator of the robot. Then, of course, the last part, we have the robot available, whether it's in the attended or unattended. So there are 2 different type of the license that we can have. Okay. Some basic requirement about before you installing the Studio X, that for CPU, for the minimum requirement, of course, is a dual core 1.8 gigahertz and a 4 gig RAM. Okay. Of course, the recommended one, of course, we need to, like, in order to run things more smoothly, that you need to have a quad core, 2.4 gigahertz processor, 64-bit, okay, and a 4 gig RAM. All right. So these are the recommended requirement. Of course, I believe that most of the PC today that have a higher spec than this one, at least it meet the recommended requirement. All right. So we will be also working with Microsoft Office. All right. So for Microsoft Office with UiPath, it work with all these Microsoft Office version 2010, 2013, 2016, 2019, or Office 365. Okay. And of course, we're talking about display resolution. Anything lower than 1024 times 768 are not supported. All right. And which is something I believe that most of the PC have a higher resolution than this, than the required one. All right. And yep, anything lower than the stated one, 1024 times 768 is not able to run properly. Okay. So allow me to go through some of these steps, because some of these steps is already available in the installation guide that we sent out, Angelina sent out earlier. So allow me to go through this one quickly. Okay. So if you were to go to the URL below, that https //cloud.uipath.com/portal/register. So this is the if you are the first time user, if you go to this page, then which means if you don't have an account with UiPath, so which means you need to sign up with UiPath first. So whether if you're using your Google account or you're using your Microsoft account, or you want to excuse me, to sign up with LinkedIn, yes, you can. Or you want to use others, like you want to use a Gmail or any other email, that you can also do that. That you just need to click on the sign up with email. All right. Then of course you go through the registration step and everything. Once it is done, then basically you will come into this page, which means you are done your registration already. Okay, then you will basically automatically navigated into this page. All right. So which means from this UiPath page, okay, that you will be able to download the UiPath installer. So basically, if you look at the right side of the page, right top side, so basically you can see that there is a download button. Okay, so that is the place that is you just click the download, then it will automatically download the latest version of the UiPath. Okay, so that is a place for you to download the installer, and once you downloaded the installer, then you just double click, you just find the installer, you double click, and you start the installation. So this is what you will see whenever you execute the installer. Okay, so in order to do a quick installation, so like this is the most common way, which without you need not to do any selection. You just select the quick mode. Okay, and of course this is recommended for the community user. Okay, so you just select the quick mode, and at the bottom part you just check the box that you accept with the license agreement. Okay, and once you do the installation, like once you check these two, then you just proceed with the button. You just click the install button, and it will do the installation by itself. All right. Then, yeah, once everything is done, the UiPath setup installation is done, then you're able to see this page. Okay. So then you just launch the UiPath Studio, and once you launch your UiPath Studio, the first time you launch it, you are required to sign in. Okay. So when you click the sign in, because earlier when in the first step you do the registration, you already signed in. Okay, so once you click sign in, then it will basically automatically open up your browser, and then it will prompt up this window. open UiPath, I mean like question mark. Do you want to open? Then you just click the button, open UiPath, okay, as highlighted in the slide. All right. Once you highlighted, I mean you click the open UiPath, it will basically do the sign in of your user account that you sign in. I mean like you sign up previously, and then you should be able to see this one. So it will ask once the sign in is done already, you are required to choose a profile. Okay. As I said earlier, what is the difference in between Studio and Studio X is that Studio X is for community user, whereby UiPath Studio is for advanced user. Okay, so here today we are using the Studio X, so you just proceed with choosing the Studio X profile. Okay, once you see the, I mean like of course then this is already the last step, that once you select the profile, your UiPath should be, I mean, doing some initiation, and then it will just basically launch the Studio X. Okay. Any questions? Any questions that we have before? Uh, yep. Okay. Of course, I see there are some people talking about the Mac OS. One of the thing is, I mean, is that for um UiPath is that it is not available in the Mac OS. It is basically available in the Windows only at the moment. Okay, I'm not sure whether they will come up with, I mean, like for Mac OS, but currently it is not supported in Mac OS. Once you're done with the installation, then you should be able to see this UiPath Studio X community. Okay, so because we are about, I mean, we need to work with multiple extension, like for example XL and Chrome. Okay, if in the installation step you already selected that, then basically you were done all the installation. But just to double check that you just go to under tools, and then you select the UiPath installation. Okay, so in tools, okay, and then at the UiPath extension. So just to check, so it doesn't matter. I mean, like whether if you're using Chrome, then you just install the browser extension for Chrome, or else you just, if you're using Edge or Firefox, you just proceed to install the uh, extension. All right. And today we'll be working with Excel. Then just proceed to uh, do the Excel add-in as well. Install the plugin. I mean the extension as well. So because we needed this one, so just to make sure that you have done the installation or not. Okay, for the Excel and for the extension for your browser. Again, for browser, depends on which one you are using by default, Chrome or Microsoft Edge or Firefox. Okay, so like for myself, I don't have Firefox, then it is not available for me. Okay, so once you are ready, all right, then basically you can just start a blank task. Okay, so thinking about your first robot. Okay, in this module, I'll be showing you like what do we need to do, and after that, then we will do the hands-on together. Okay, so in this part, so this is a small little project, that something that if you ever wonder what you will be called if you were a unicorn. Okay, so in this challenge, we are about to build a robot that it can access. I mean, it can access to the website and generate a unicorn name for yourself, and then you actually can copy the unicorn name and to put it into the Excel file. So before proceed, so you can actually open up your browser. Okay, open up your browser and access to this web page, https://www.rpasamples.com/unicorn name. Okay, so go to this page. Go to this website. Then you can actually see the website show this unicorn. Okay. All right. And then, of course, then you will need to have the Excel sheet as well. So, actually, I already prepared this in our Cybiant SharePoint site. You can actually visit to the SharePoint and you can download the file. Okay, you can the file name is unicorn name .xls is an Excel file. You can proceed to download that one. All right. So what I would recommend is that you actually download that file to your local PC so that it is easier for you to access and to use the file. Okay. Once you downloaded the file, then what we need to do is that we need to copy the name and copy your birth month, okay, into this website. Name, okay, your name. Let's say you key in your name and your birth month, and to type into what is your name and what is your birth month. Okay. And after the second step is that after you input all your name and your birth month, then you need to push the button get name. So in order to generate your unicorn name. Okay. So after you get your name, then for example, this is your unicorn name, right? Mystic Cloud Jumper. So you will then need to take this unicorn name and copy this text and put it into your Excel file. So that you know that this is your Excel file. So this is the third step. Okay, so this is quite a simple one. So what I need to do is that you just need to have the Excel file, and then you just need to go through the RPA website, rpasample.com/unicorn, the name, copy your name and copy your birth month, type into the website, and then to generate the unicorn name, and copy the unicorn name and put it back into the Excel file. Okay, so allow me to guide you through. Give me one moment. Can you see my? Yeah. So you can probably see my screen right now. Okay. So whenever you install the community Studio X, the Studio X community. So allow me to go through again that under tools and UiPath extension, so you can see just to make sure that you have your uh, Chrome extension installed and also the Excel. Okay, so once you're done, you go back to start and then just under the project, you just click new and a blank task. Okay, blank task. So here you will need to input what is the name, the process name. Let's say we put it unicorn name. Okay, so this is your process name, and you will just need to select where do you want to create where is the file for this one. Okay, so this is the location for you to save this project. Okay, so for example, I would need to save it elsewhere. Shop demo. Okay, so I select this folder. Okay, unicorn name. Then after that, okay, if you were to put some description, you will. So this is the project to get my unicorn name. Okay, once it is done, then you can just proceed to create unicorn name. So sorry again, unicorn. Yeah. So once it is done, then you will start to initiate all the required thing in order to start design the first robot. Okay, so once you started your UiPath, then you will see this window. Okay, so we can see that at the left side, of the window, then you see activities. Okay, so activities, which means all the functions that we can use within the UiPath to perform some action. All right. So this is the place where you can find all the actions that is available. Okay. So this is like, for example, recent. What are the things that we recently use? What are the file that we are recently use? Okay. Resources that we needed. Okay. So to go through, then you will need to, okay, you open up the browser. You can open up your browser, and then so navigate yourself to this page. Okay, the rpasample.com/unicorn name. Then once this is ready, you go back to your UiPath Studio. All right, and at the left side, you just under activity and resources, use this one. You find something that use application/browser. So once this is found, I just click and drag into the center on the main side of the window. Okay, and drag and drop. So once drag and drop, you should be able to see this use application or browser at the center is available already. Okay, so once this is out, and then I just click at the center, indicate application to automate, and this step is to indicate like what is your application or what are the browser that you are using. Like for example, right now I want to indicate that I want to use the browser. Okay, so I just simply click this one, indicate application to automate. Then, yep, then you can see that once it is activated, then you can select. You can see kind of like a green, uh, a green shadow, something like that. So basically, this is to select your. For example, I'm using Chrome. I just select my Chrome. So this is to indicate that I'm now want to use the Google Chrome. Okay, so you see, once I indicate that one, so if it actually recognize that I'm using Google Chrome, and it also it also found the browser URL. Okay, it automatically capture the URL as well. Okay, then if you have already managed to download the file, okay, the Excel file that I mentioned, we actually put it in the SharePoint. You just download the SharePoint and download it from the SharePoint, and I would recommend it to put it inside the same folder where you create the project. Okay, so for example, I place it. Wait, let me find. okay, you should be able to see, I mean, like, for example, whatever that you are saving, okay? So once you got your unicorn name, okay, copy and I paste, okay? Copy this Excel file into the same directory. So this is what my common practice is, so that easier for you to search the Excel file. But of course, the Excel file can be placed elsewhere as well. I mean, it don't necessarily that you need to put under the same folder. But for easier for us to work, I will just put it here. Okay. And follow so far? Yep, I assume that everyone is able to follow. Then okay, come back to the Studio X. The next thing that we are going to use is use Excel file under the activity resources and use this one. Drag and drop into this. I mean, you see that inside the use browser, there is a section called drop activity here. So I'm going to drop this one here. Okay. So once you drag and drop into this one, so this is to indicate that I'm going to use an Excel file. Okay. So because the data for the unicorn name that we have is Excel file. So what I need to do is that I need to indicate where the Excel file is. So I need to click, you see the little folder icon at the right side. So I just click this one. So basically this one is to browse for file. So right now I'm going to browse for the Excel file that we have. So you see, once I click, it first navigate to the folder, to your folder. So that is why it's easy. I mean, that's why I recommend to put it here. If you were to put the Excel file at the other folder, you just need to browse to, I mean, like wherever you save the Excel file. So this is my Excel file. I already have it here. So I just click open. So basically, this is just to indicate that what is the Excel file that I am going to use. Okay. So next is to, okay. So you can see if you open up if you open up the Excel file, okay, you can see that this is the Excel file that we have. So you have a name column, birthday month, and your unicorn name. So just proceed to key in your name and your birth month here, and just leave the unicorn name blank, because this is for us to later on to generate the unicorn name in the website, and we copy the unicorn name and we put it back into this column. Okay. So proceed to key in your name and your birth month, and you save the file. Okay, you save the file, and then you just proceed to close the Excel file. Okay, then we were going to type, okay, type into. So I use you can, if I mean, like, because recent is something that I used before. If you don't have, then you can just basically search for whatever the function that you want. Like for example, right now we want to type the name into the website. So I just type into, type into. So this is something that we find. Okay. So it is actually under activity, apps and web automation, type into. So this is something that we want. I just click and drop inside the use Excel file. Okay. So click and, okay. So once this window is out, that right now you will need to indicate where do you want to type. Okay. So I just click and I just select this column, enter your name. Okay. Enter my name, and then it will basically you see, it will search for everything, for the anchor and everything. So, and then you will see that this is the target. The green color is a target that where it will type into. Okay. And whereas the anchor is the place that where is the place to type? Because for name, then it will basically anchor with this question. So basically easier for the robot to indicate where to type. Okay. Once it is done, you just click and whether its shortcut is the enter or you just click the button confirm. Okay. So right now you see that, okay, you already select the place that you want to type in. So now you need to indicate what you need to type into that. So right now I want to type my name into that column. Okay. So here, when I click the type under this section, type in, and then select a value. Then you need to select a value to type in. Okay. I just click. All right. And then inside the Excel, and then I select indicate in Excel file. So I just click this one, indicate in Excel, and wait for a moment, and it will prompt up your Excel file. So right now you need to indicate what need to type in. So I just select this, my name. So this is my name. Once I selected, and then I just click confirm. Okay, confirm is done. So right now, then you see that the robot will know what value I will need to extract and to type into the website. Okay, so then we will need to come back. So you can notice that here is for us to type. Okay, for your name is to type. But for the birth month, it's basically a drop-down list. It is not for typing. Okay, it is basically a drop-down list for you to select your birth month. Okay, birth month. So right now, the second step I need to do is I need to select the birth month. Okay, and to come back into this one, your Studio X, and then you search something called select item. Okay, so select item, that you can see that there are two. Okay, be careful of what you are choosing, because one is designated for SAP and one is a generic one. And right now what we need to use is to use the web and the generic one. So I just select and I just drop it under the type into activity. Okay, type into activity. So now right now then you see this one, the select item, and I need to indicate which item to select. So I proceed to click this indicate in Chrome, and then I just select the birth month. Okay, so I select here. So it will just, because this is the drop down list that we will need to select. So I just click this one, and then it will automatically indicate the anchor as well. Okay, once it is done, then you proceed to click confirm again. Okay, confirm, then okay. So you already indicate where to select, and referring to what value to select, and of course you need to refer back to the Excel file and the item to select, which means I need to click again and then to Excel, and I will to indicate in Excel. Okay, indicate in Excel. Then right now the first step is I use name, but right now I need to select my birth month. Then I will click this one, the birth month, column B, and I just confirm my selection. Okay, confirm my selection. Okay, confirm my selection. Then you can see the item to select under Excel sheet 1, then the column B2. Okay, and then the third step, which is come back to this one. So my name. Okay, so my birth month is December. So the next step is to click. Correct. So I need to click. Then come back to the left side. I need to search for all the activity. then I search for click. Okay, click. And again, be aware of your selection, that do not wrongly select the click in the SAP, because that is specifically designed for SAP, and just use, right now we are using this, the generic one, click. Okay, so I drag and drop it under the select item. Okay, and then like right now I need to indicate which button I need to select. Okay, so here I indicate I need to select this one, get name. I need to click this button in order for this generator to generate your unicorn name. Okay, so I select this one, done. Okay, then I just confirm my selection. Okay, so here you can see that uh what are the click type. Okay, whether it's a single click or it's a double click or down click or up click. Okay, so we just need a single click and using the uh left button, left mouse button. Okay, so so once we get the name, that you can see that Delightful Frostfire is my unicorn name. Okay, so right now what we need to do is that uh, we need to indicate, I mean, to tell the robot to take this name and put it back into, I mean, to take this name and put it back into the Excel file. Okay, so here I do it one time. Okay, in to generate my unicorn name, and then I come back to the Studio X. We search for the activity get text. Okay, get text, get text, and again the same thing. I drag and drop to the activity after the click activity. Okay, so right now I need to indicate what is the text I need to get. So I need to get my unicorn name. So I just indicate the unicorn name. Okay, so this is my unicorn name. I just click this one and I just confirm my selection. Okay, so I am getting this one, and right now I need to indicate where I can save my Excel. I mean, this my unicorn name. So remember, our task is to generate the Excel, the unicorn name, and put it back to the Excel. So we need to save this unicorn name to the Excel. So what we need to do is, in the Save To, I just click, and then I'm using Excel. So right now I need to uh, indicate in Excel where can I save the unicorn name. And the unicorn name is here, C2. So this is the place I want to save my unicorn name. Okay, so save my unicorn name. So this is the place I want to save, and I confirm my selection. Okay, so right now, confirm, you see, okay, right now I'm actually instructing the robot to save this unicorn name into the Excel under sheet 1 at column C2. Okay, so anyone can follow so far? Anyone missing out anything? Okay, so right now, okay, basically we are done with all the steps already. So what we need to do is, okay, we close the Excel file. Okay, we close the Excel file. We have the browser on just now. I just close my browser as well. So right now, at the top ribbon there, okay, you can see at the design part, at the design, and then at the most right or at the center, you can see that there is a button that click run. Okay, so right now we are done with all the steps already. So you can click run. So for the robot to compile everything and to start running. So you can, if I click run, so it will do all the compiling activities. okay? And then it will start running automatically in doing the task that we designed it, how it ran just now. So you see, you can see that everything is running properly. I mean, like from the first step, open up the browser, okay, and then open up Excel to select the value, and then you do the typing automatically, and then get the unicorn name, save into the Excel, okay. So come back to our Excel file. So before I just now when I save the file, the unicorn name is empty one, okay. So what the robot does is you take my name, you take my birthday month, put it into the unicorn name generator. It generate the unicorn name and it capture the text and put it back into my Excel file. Okay, so this is what the robot can do automatically. All right, so everyone follow. If you guys able to follow, just give me a thumbs up. Hmm, I see no thumbs up. Okay. Yep. Um, I see somebody raise up hand. Any questions? You can actually ask. You can raise a question in the chat section. Yeah, I saw some thumbs up finally. Okay, so you can also try to run this one in your robot as well, just to see whether you can. I mean, like do exactly as what I have already designed. So you also, I mean, like I think that you are doing what I am doing as well. So you just follow, and you basically can just run, and you can basically get the same result. Okay, so once you manage to run, which means you already built your first robot. You have successfully built your first robot. Okay, I mean, like, congratulations. First step is already done. And yep, let me go back to my presentation slide. Yep. So, I mean, just to recap back of what we have done just now. Okay, I mean, like, it might look silly for you, but here the most important thing is for you to understand that what the robot can do. All right. So basically, we can, I mean, like, we already done the step that, I mean, like, insert data into an application. Okay. So for us is basically to insert into a web application. Okay. And then to create a new, I mean, like, you can, I mean, this task is also something like similar. For example, if you insert data into application like your SAP application, provide information in the questionnaire, or to create a new user for new employee. So these are the steps. It might look similar, like I need to copy from Excel file to the application in order to create a user or anything. Okay, so you have done the first robot today. So, like, the next step is then we need to see. Okay, so that is something that we call human design to robot design. Okay, the human path. We're not here. We are talking about the human path in getting the task done. Okay, so I mean like for every project that you have a start and you have an end, and along the process, like for example that the process that we create the robot just now. Okay, so for human, how we complete the task is basically we just like open up the RPA sample, the web page. Okay, so you actually using browser, and then we generate the unicorn name from the Excel file. So we're actually working in between the browser and Excel file to type in the name and the selectable month. And then here, I mean like it send email, or basically it's not sending email, but it just to save it into the Excel file again. Okay. And then in the robot path, so of course you always need to have a start, and all the element, all the shape, you need to connect it with the arrow, and no shape should be left independent. Okay, and of course you need to mention the resource label as well. For example, that is a browser or that is Excel, that you need to indicate properly. Okay, and of course it is do with the ending. So here, by having this one, it make it easier for you to create the uh the robot. Okay, so this is the every single step. Basically, this indicate the detailed step of what you need to do. Okay, like for example, one single click, you will need to indicate as well. Like for example, you can see that open up the unicorn name. Okay, and then you use the browser, and then you need to select what data. Okay, so these are the steps that basically you can draw it up, that this basically give you a overview or a detailed overview of like how do you design your robot. Okay, then let's proceed to the uh next next demo. Okay, so it is about almost a similar like this one, but we are moving one step ahead, well, I mean one step forward, which is a little bit more advanced. That right now we are doing supplier case study. Okay, so here, okay, I mean just to recap again, that what we mentioned just now, what I mentioned just now, from a human path to robot path, that um how do you need to design your path. Okay, and for this one, the demo is about automating the supply entry, which means if you have a list of a supplier or something, we call it onboarding new suppliers. Okay, that every week or every day you have a new supplier list that coming into you, and you need to register all the supplier into the system. Okay, so okay, like for example here the example is about adding supplier information to a procurement system. Okay, so in the traditional way, the procurement executive need to do all these steps manually, which means the this that come to her daily or him daily, that he need to manually copy and paste the file, the data into the procurement system. Okay, and what we need to do is that the step they need to do is open up the procurement system, and then open up the Excel file which have a supplier information, and then they need to insert the data from the Excel file into the website. Okay, and then save the supplier name and repeat the process until all the supplier has been added. Okay, so this is the step that need to be done. And here, what you can do is that, I mean like, for here, I mean like we are going to set up the demo here in the UiPath demo apps. It's a web application, and you just need to go to the URL below. There you can see https www.rpasamples.com/suppliers. Okay, go to this URL and you should be able to see these demo apps. Okay, and then of course we will require to have this Excel file as well. Same, I mean like same as where you get the unicorn name Excel file. This this supplier Excel file is available inside the our Cybiant SharePoint. So you can just proceed to the website, I mean the SharePoint, and download this Excel file. Okay, and then the next thing is we need to have, I mean like to key in the the internal name. Okay, so we can see that we use the internal, I mean type in the internal name to the internal name section, and then they have an external name, and then we need to I mean like copy this data into the external. And of course the next one is about choosing the industry. What industry is this supplier from? Okay, so here the industry, we need to put it there as well. Okay, and then after that we need to scroll down to click the button to save the supplier name. Okay, so now we can see that this is the robot path of what do we need to do. Okay, so we can see that how do we start is we just start the project, and then we just open the browser, okay, and navigate to rpasamples.com/supplier webpage. Okay, and then click the, you see, even click the button, it should be one activity as well. Okay, this is something that not to be missed because it is also one of the activity that is necessary to happen. Okay, so click on the new supplier button, and then you open up the Excel, supplier file, which is the Excel file, and then type into the internal name. Okay, you get the A2 from cell A2 to the browser, and then cell B2 to the supplier, which means the internal name and the external name. Okay, of course here I'm going to do one extra step, which is to list down, I mean to indicate the industry as well. So there should be one extra column box here before it save. Click the button save to save the data that we entry. Okay, so again, then I'm going to run this demo again, so you can just follow along that how are we going to create this one. Okay, um, okay, so here how do we create a new project? Okay, so at this Studio X, you can click the home button at the top left side, home button, and then I just proceed to click new and a blank task, because right now we are going to start with a new blank task again. So I just click this one. So I just give a supplier onboarding. What we need to do, I just select yeah, this one. Yeah, this is where I save. So this is the automation process to onboard new suppliers. So you can give a description to, I mean like to describe what is this project is about. So once it is done, then I just click create. So it will create a brand new project again. Okay, once it is done, okay, so same like just now, that you open up the browser, and then I just go to this website, rpasamples.com/suppliers. So when I go to this site, then basically it will show, I mean, it will prompt up these demo apps. So this demo app basically, you know, it can be any other application that you are working with within your organization. It can be any application, but here we're just using this one so that basically everyone can follow. Okay, so here you can see the apps, and in order to uh, create the new supplier, I basically need to click this new supplier, and I insert the internal name, okay, and the external name, and then select the industry, and I need to scroll down and I click the save button to save. Okay, so okay, then come back to your Studio X, and then save, use application or the browser. Okay, and then drag and drop into the center again. Okay, then after that, then we need to indicate what is the application that we need to use. So same, I already opened up this website, so I need to tell the robot that I am using my Google Chrome and to go to this URL web page. Okay, so I click and I select my Chrome. There it indicate using, you see the top, using browser Chrome, and navigate to the browser URL. Okay, and then it's also the same step like just now, where we create the unicorn name. So we are about to use this Excel file. Okay, Excel file, I just drag and drop inside the use Chrome browser. Okay, so not to forget that the step just now. Okay, so one moment. Supplier onboarding. Okay, so the okay, so the supply Excel file that you downloaded, you get it from the SharePoint. So just put it into the folder where your project, your UiPath project is. I mean, for this uh supply onboarding project where you created the directory. So I put it into the same place or any other place. Okay. So right now I need to indicate this is the Excel file that I want to use. Okay. So to show you the Excel file, so this is how it looks like. Okay. So in this one, then you can see the supplier have the internal name, external name, and the industry. Okay. So I just close this one, then and come back to the here. Here I need to select what Excel file I'm going to use. So I just select the browser. So I just select this data supplier. Remember, I mean, like earlier talking about, it need to be in the format that it can read. So like Excel file is one of the structured data that the robot can read and understand and process. Okay, so I select this one and I open. So I already indicate what is the data that I'm going to use. Okay, so the next step, because just in the earlier demo using, I mean, the create the unicorn name, there is only one line. But right now we are going to work with multiple line of data. Okay, so we need to tell the robot that to go through each line, each row, and to work with each line and to insert into the, I mean, to do the supply onboarding, because there are four different lines. Okay, and I need to go to process each and every row. Okay, so to do that, we need to search for the activity for each. Okay, well, for each, then you see that there are some other activities, and the one that we are going to use is for each Excel row. Okay, because it is in the Excel data file, and we are going to process each row. Okay, so we are using this one for each row, and drag and drop inside the use Excel file. Okay. Okay. So right now, we need to tell like in what range I need to select the file. So basically, I just select, I click Excel file, and I basically just indicate the sheet one. Okay. I click this one. So which means I will need to take the data, entire data in available in sheet one. Okay. And then here it have two checkbox. So it basically you will need to indicate, like for example, if you see this data, if I open up this data, then we can see that it does have a header. You may see it does have a header. So this is a header. So right in the Excel, I mean in the Studio X, I need to indicate it have a header so that it don't take that row as data. Okay. Once you have a header, then we will need to start the process. Okay. So what is the first step? Which is to click the new supplier button first. Okay. So same, I just use click. I find click. Okay. And I drag and drop into the activity for each Excel row. Drag and drop into this one. Okay. So here, there you can see where I can do. Okay. So this is the button that I need to click. So I indicate this one. And I confirm my selection. Okay. Then I click. Okay. So you prompt up this window. Okay. Then the next activity, which is type into. Okay. Type into. So I drag and drop to the after the activity, click. Okay. So I need to indicate. Okay. Internal name. Okay. I select this box. Internal name. Because you have a good anchor, then it will automatically select that as an anchor and confirm the selection. Okay. Then I need to indicate what is the data that need to type into uh, internal name. Okay. So select a value, you click, and then it will tell you in this current row. Okay. Then that's why you see there is a header. Okay. This is all following based on the Excel file, following the header. So right now I need to use internal name. So I just select internal name. So which means it will select for first to process the first row, then it will take this one. And then the following row, then it will select this one based on the column name, internal name. Okay. And then I need to do this next one, which is type into, and I indicate in the Chrome the external name. So external name, that is automatically select the anchor, and I click confirm again. Okay. So after this one, then I also same thing, which I need to indicate the external name. So here I select this, select a value, and I go to current row, and I select the external name. Okay, so this is the external name. I need to type into here. Okay, and then here you can see, I mean, like just to be aware that for internal and external name, it is a typing, but for industry, it is a drop down list. Okay, so in order to do that, then we need to uh, use the activity select item. Okay, select item. I drag and drop this one after the type into. Okay, so I indicate this one and I select this one Okay, so this is the place, and I confirm. Okay, and come back to the here. What are the items to select? Okay, so in the Excel file, I have the industry, so I need to select industry. Okay, so come into the current row and use industry. So this is to select based on the industry data in the Excel file. Okay, and once this is done, then the last step is to go scroll down, to come down and to click this button. Okay, so I need to have a click button activity again, and I indicate this button. Okay, when it's done, I just click confirm. Yep, it is. So we can see that the step is already done one by one. But when we execute it, then it will automatically process the data in each row. Okay, so let me proceed to close this Excel file, and I close this browser. Okay, so that when I execute, then you will able to see how the the robot is running. So to show you the data again, so there are four different rows, four different suppliers, and I need to insert these four supplier into the file. So which means the same process it will repeat 4 times. So to have 4 different entry of the supplier information. Okay, so to look at this one, so we just run the robot. Okay, let it compile and run. Okay, they will see you automatically prompt up to open up the demo apps. Then it will open up the Excel file. Maybe it's something like running in the background. And then, yep, then you can see that how does it do it automatically. Okay, so you see, this is the repeat second time, which means it is processing the second row of data. And then you select the industry and click again. Then again, start the third row of data and save. And right now, it is the last step, the last data, which is the fourth supplier. Okay, click and save. So basically, it's all done. Okay, it's all done by processing 4 different suppliers to insert their data. And for us to look into it, to process 4 data, everything is completed within 1 minute. And just exactly 1 minute. Okay, including open up browser. From scratch, running from scratch. Open up the browser, open up the data, and do all the typing and save all the information. All is done within 1 minute. Okay, so that we can see that how do we design the robot. Okay, how does it do the step by step. Okay, so this is the sequential step. Like for example, you can see that from click, you must first click the supplier step, and then you insert the internal name, external name, select the supplier type, the industry type, and then the last step, which is to save, click the save button. Okay, it's a sequential step that we cannot miss any of this part. Okay, so these are, if you were to do again and again, it's still the same rules is still applied. So imagine that you have like 100 over supplier or 100 over row of data to be inserted into a system daily, or we are talking about 1,000 lines of data. How long do you need to process this part? how long do you need to complete this task. So these are the things that we fulfill the requirement, which means is a repetitive one, so that we can utilize this RPA to do the work instead of uh, using human being in doing all these tasks. Okay, we can see that in the key lesson and takeaway in this part is that how do we automate? How can we automate the repetitive work? Okay, and how does it save the output automatically? Okay, so basically we are basically just using the pseudo X in indicate all the single step that need to be done, and then when we need to to execute the task, we just basically execute the robot it will automatically process the task already. So like you can give different data every day. Okay, it can be like minimum 1 row or up to like 100 row or 1,000 row. So the robot will just follow the rules and do it automatically. Okay, and most of the time it will be running successfully with a high accuracy because um there is no fatigue issue in the robot. Okay, so um we are almost at the end of this webinar, this course. So in this very short period of time that we basically, like we can see how RPA, we see what RPA is about and how does it speed up the enterprise processes and how does it do the automatically within the web browser and to enter information. How does it copy data? The data transfer in between Google Chrome, your web browser and the Excel. How does it use for enormous workload, and how does it do almost everything within your machine. And also your unicorn name and there are many more things. So in RPA, it is basically that the journey can be very dynamic. So it basically can start from one person, like you can start as an individual in like showcasing how much RPA can help within the business processes, and then it can slowly grow into a departmental. Okay, the entire department is start utilizing RPA, and then after that, from departmental, it grew into the entire organization. Okay, the entire organization is using the RPA, utilizing RPA for the business processes. Okay, so which means not just one department, but multiple departments. And then slowly it can grow into, to grow and transform the business that almost everyone have one robot assistant. Every single one person have one robot assistant in helping them to complete their daily tasks. Okay, and then it should extend further into in terms of geographical, whereby if you are, we're talking about a multinational company that you have company in different region, then we can slowly grow into like the usage of the RPA in multiple region is and not just you yourself only. Okay, and there is a place where we talking about we're looking at millions or not billions of the return of investment. Okay, so there is a place where you see the most ROI. Okay, and in the RPA, in UiPath specifically, it, whenever your RPA is growing, the need of RPA is growing. At the same time, you also need more tools. All right, you need to have more tools in, like, for example, discover more tasks to automate. To discover more opportunities for you to build your robot, the management of the robot, and also the job it is doing, and also to create the engagement. Okay, so in this part, UiPath have a complete solution, okay, for all these elements. From the discovery of the opportunity, discovery of the task that can be automated, potential to be automated, and in building the robot, in managing the robot and jobs, and to create engagement in between uh, robot and human. So they have the complete solution that it can provide to you as a user. Okay, and basically, you are hyper automation ready with the UiPath platform simply because they are a complete solution in doing the discovery, in the building, manage, run, engage, and measure your robot. Okay, so basically, the UiPath for whatever you need to do, there are something that is available for you to use it. Okay, so before we end this one, okay, at Cybiant, okay, you can have a discovery workshop for free. Okay, we do provide this free discovery workshop where, I mean, like if you want to discover more opportunity, we are here. We Cybiant is here to help. That we have a workshop that is designed for company that if they wanted to explore more about RPA solution and what is that about, and it is basically a half day workshop that we are going to help our client in discovering what are the manual process and what are the processes that can be used as a candidate for automation as well. Okay, and of course, then we do have if you are required, I mean, you already have some knowledge about uh, automation, and you want to build a proof of concept. Okay, we can be there. I mean, we can be there to help as well, to help your company in building a POC, letting you or your company to see the benefit of the RPA in the process optimization, and of course talking about the efficiency as well. So in this process, we are also letting, I mean, mainly to let the organization to see the benefit of automating the business processes using UiPath platform, and to provide an overview of the process and deliverables. Okay, and if you are ready, I mean, like if you are ready to onboard with the automation and you want to be uh I mean, like starting using the advanced functions, we do provide advanced RPA training as well, as you we are official trainer. Okay, so we can actually provide the RPA associate certification for you. So basically, that is the first step for you to in the RPA journey. That in this course, it is basically a 5 full day of training that is going to deep dive into the RPA knowledge and skill that is related to solving problem, into the advanced processes, into develop automation solution using the UiPath platform. Okay, so is there any question from you guys? So, yeah, I saw that there are some questions. For instance, from John. I know, how would be the license issue any restriction in creating it, as the demo just now is trial pack? Um, this is the question from JX. So I'm not too sure about the license issue. That if you are using the community license, that basically you can use the UiPath platform for free. But of course, there is a limited. They are given a limited free license that you basically just have one robot for yourself. Okay, that is for public use. But in terms of if you are using within your organization, then of course there are the paid license available as well. That depends on like your requirement, that you can have multiple unattended robot, attended robot, and then you need to have a developer license as well. So those are the licenses that is available. Okay, so I think if you are downloading the trial, I think you are. I think there is. I mean, UiPath also provide a 60-day trial one, But if you were to use, to explore more into the UiPath platform, I would suggest you use the community version that is always free one. So for JX, I hope this answered to your questions. Okay, so um, thank you very much for joining this 2 hours workshop, and I hope that there is something that you can take away from this one, so that you basically have a understanding about what RPA is about. And if you would like to explore more about for more information that, or you want to understand more about what the RPA workshop, you can uh, go to our website, okay, or you can actually scan this barcode for you to navigate straight into this our website, so you can have more information about the discovery workshop. Okay, and yeah, of course, if you like to uh, you have any questions or you want to discover more, that you can always come and email me in regards to any questions about RPA and anything. Okay, again, thank you very much. Thank you for your time, and I hope that there is something to you can take away. And please do, come and engage us if you are interested with this RPA discovery workshop. Basically, it's a free RPA discovery workshop from us. So do come to contact us for more information. All right. So thank you. Thank you again for your time. And yeah, if you have any questions, please, you're more than welcome to come and to reach out to us. Thank you and have a good day ahead.